Well, Ricky, on the build-up to another Hatton spectacular, I guess the first question I should ask you, do you fancy the Man City job?
No, yeah, wouldn't mind. One thing, if I did get off the City job, I don't think I'd have done a good job as Sven-Göran Eriksson. I think you've got to feel a bit sorry for Sven at the minute. I mean, I'm sure the people at the club who have made the decision have probably got the reasons for it. If they bring a new manager in and he brings silverware back, I suppose they'll be justified. But I think he's not had much time to do it, and the time he was there, he's done a good job. So your heart's got to go out for him at the minute.
We'll get back to your fight. I mean, what kind of challenge does Juan Lazcano represent?
I think it's a good challenge. You know, it's my first fight back from my first defeat in my career, first knockout defeat, and although I'm on home turf with 55,000 fans at the City of Manchester Stadium, comes an enormous amount of pressure, really. And he comes to fight, you know, he's a body puncher, he never takes a backward step, he's only lost 4 out of 49 fights, you know, he's a very good opponent for a coming back from defeat fight, if you like. So, and yeah, it's very important that the styles gel, you know, 55,000 people are coming, you don't want somebody that's going to stink the place out, and he certainly doesn't do that.
Some critics of the fight have been a little bit disappointed that maybe he's not an Oscar De La Hoya, he's not a Paul Malignaggi. What would you say to those people?
Well, I think I feel unfair. I mean, I've lost my undefeated record. I lost by a knockout, and if they're complaining about Juan Lazcano, I take it as a compliment. Really, I think you look at my last 6 fights: Kosciuszko, Carlos Mauser, Louis Collazo, Jose Ranyarango, Jose Luis Castillo, Floyd Mayweather. I think they've got a cheek to call who I've been fighting lately. Who did they want me to fight? Klitschko. But I mean, no, I think the fact that we've got Paul Malignaggi on the undercard shows me intentions for the future. You know, I want to go to America and challenge for world titles again, and hopefully the dream is to fight him at Madison Square Garden should we both win. So, a little bit harsh criticism, I would say.
Has that defeat to Mayweather sort of given you a little bit more focus?
I'm not saying I needed a kick up the backside, so to speak, but I think, yeah, when you do get defeated and people are obviously looking to stick the knife in and put you down, and well, that'll be the last we'll see of Ricky Hatton. You know, we'll be on a downward slide now. I mean, it makes you more determined to come back. And boxers, you know, great boxers, greatness is proved in boxing by how you come back from obstacles. I mean, apart from Rocky Marciano, I don't know a fighter out there that has not become great because of coming back from defeat, and that's the position I find myself in.
When you announced that you were coming back to Manchester, you promised us many Manchester fighters on the undercard. You've not let us down on that promise. How important is it for the likes of your brother, Craig Watson and Jamie Moore, to appear on such a big stage?
Well, it's very important. I mean, a lot of the Manchester fighters have been inactive since I stopped fighting at the Arena. And there's a lot of fighters, upcoming prospects, you know, Tommy McDonough, for one, who's fighting for the English title on the bill, you know, they seem to have disappeared off the face of the earth a little bit. And in coming back and doing a little bit of promoting, yeah, there's myself on the undercard. There's myself on the bill, my brother Matthew, Craig Watson in the Commonwealth title in a Manchester derby, my old mate Jamie Moore's on the, you know, pushing towards his world title shot with a foreign opposition. Tommy McDonough's on the undercard, and that's what I'd like to do in my career. You know, I'd like to give some of my mates and the Manchester fighters a bit more work.
And how pleased have you been with the ticket sales? They've gone better than anybody can expect, really, haven't they?
Wow, is that a serious question? I mean, 55,000 in 2 weeks. I mean, I did fall short in my last fight of becoming the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, but I know one title I do hold, and I think that's the best fans in the world and the biggest ticket seller in the world by a country mile. 55,000 tickets at City of Manchester in 2 weeks, and 35,000 going over to Vegas and watching. I mean, I don't think there's anybody that can come close to that.
How are you finding making the lighter weight than you were at last time?
All right, yeah, fantastic. I mean, most people always say that I struggle at the weight because obviously the size they see me when I'm out of training. But I mean, anybody who knows me from the team and in and around the camp, they'll know that making weight has never really been a struggle. Certainly for the last 5 or 6 years since I've had Kerry Kay's my nutritionalist involved. People think, oh God, it must struggling because they say this. I mean, see me like a beach whale away from the gym. But no, I've got about 9 pounds to go. I feel strong. I think all my performances never show the sign. I get stronger as the fight comes on. I mean, certainly no sign of struggling with weight in my performances, I feel.
Okay, so you dispatch Lazcano. What will be the next step for you?
Well, hopefully I can dispatch Lazcano. Malignaggi can beat Love More Nadu. I'll go to the United States and challenge for my 7th world title, you know, against Paul Malignaggi, hopefully Madison Square Garden. And So I mean, a lot of people are questioning about the quality of my opposition. I think that's a damn right cheek who I've fought in my last 6 fights, and the fact that Malignaggi's on the undercard shows the intentions. I want to go to the United States and challenge for world titles. I've even said that. I've even been in talks with the fellow who knocked me out, Floyd Mayweather, for a future fight. So don't question who I'm fighting.
And there was a little bit of talk in the Manchester Evening News yesterday that Vegas had come in to try and get you away from New York. I mean, is there any truth in that?
There's a bit of truth in that. I mean, obviously 35,000 fans went over to Vegas, and obviously the hotels have cha-ching, money signs I've seen, So, yeah, but I mean, one of my goals is obviously to top the bill at Madison Square Garden, but obviously it's something we certainly have to look at. At the minute, I'll definitely go back to Vegas, but I feel a little bit fell out with him at the minute. I don't think I got a fair crack of the whip when I went over there. I think the judges only saw one fighter in the Mayweather fight, and I think the referee certainly did, and I think the word stitched up is probably a little bit too strong a word, but I feel a little bit fell out with Vegas at the minute, but I'm sure I'll go back, and maybe for the Malignaggi one, I'd like to see it at Madison Square Garden, but you never know.